Welcome to this Leader PHABRIX bite-sized series video where we take a closer look at Precision Time Protocol, PTP. In just under 10 minutes, we're going to take you through some of the key features that you need to be aware of when designing, deploying and maintaining a PTP network. PTP settings. PTP domains. It's highly recommended that you do not use domain 0 or domain 127 in your PTP configuration. System configuration with domains divided. Some audio equipment only supports the profile of AES67, and this uses domain 0. So therefore, unless you have an AES67 requirement, do not use domain 0. Domain 127 is the default for PTP, so any new equipment that is added to the network could become a grandmaster via the best master clock algorithm on domain 127. So it is possible to have a new equipment take over without you knowing it. We recommend you change this. In our examples, we use domain 44. And this can be set up on the PTP sync pulse generator by going into the PTP section and adjusting the domain. So in summary, domain 0 is used by audio services and 127 is the default for PTP. So to avoid any unpleasant and unexpected surprises, using the best master clock algorithm, we recommend you change that. PTP priority architecture when using the best master clock algorithm. Best master clock algorithm groups must have the same priority 1 values, so priority 2 values are used to select the grandmaster order. And in this example here, we have priority 1 set to 1 for the 2 SPGs with PTP that will be either the grandmaster or the leader. Then we have the PTP distribution layer, and here priority 1 is set to 10. Then as we move down to the spines, priority 1 is set to 20, and as we move down to the lease, priority 1 is set to 100. And this is a typical architecture you'd see in a fixed facility. If you're running an OB truck, it probably makes sense to change priority 1 to 10, PTP distribution priority 1 to 20, and the spines priority 1 to 30. This is because you don't want the OB truck to potentially become the grandmaster for a facility, and this priority 1 configuration ensures that this doesn't take place. Priority 1 and priority 2 are again set on the sync pulse generator with PTP, and priority 1 and priority 2 can be set for both domains. So in summary, ensure that the best master clock algorithm is operating at the distribution layer and not at the media spine or media leaf layer. And this is achieved by using a combination of priority 1, clock class, and priority 2, and restricting boundary clock switches from participating in the best master clock algorithm. Best master clock algorithm groups must have the same priority 1 value, so priority 2 values are used to select the grandmaster order. Announce messages and announce timeout interval. If the leader does not see an announce message from a better clock within the announce timeout interval, then it takes over the role of grandmaster. The SMPTE 2110 deployments, this value should be set to 0, which translates to 1 message per second. Again, this is set up on the sync pulse generator with PTP, and the parameters can be set for profile type ST2059 and profile type AES67. Ensure that the announce message and announce timeout interval message rate is correctly set on all devices on your network, including your switches. 1-step stroke 2-step clock. 1-step clock sees a sync message sent from the grandmaster time to the follower. 2-step clock sees a follow-up message sent. PTP assumptions. There is no delay between timestamps being created and the packets leaving the interface. But in reality, there is what's known as a delay in network stack. So therefore, the follow-up message contains the accurate T1 time, not when it was created, but when it was actually sent from the grandmaster time. And again, this can be set up on the sync pulse generator with PTP for either one-step or two-step, depending on the architecture of your PTP network. PTP communications modes. As we're aware, communication mode features a sync message, a delay request, and a delay response, which are sent between the grandmaster and the follower. First message is a sync message. In networks which include multicast operation, all ports which subscribe to the multicast address receive all messages sent to that multicast address. The follower then sends back a delay request. Any port implementing PTP will need to subscribe to both multicast addresses. The bridge may be a transparent clock, or a switch, or a router with no PTP capabilities. Then the grandmaster sends the delay response message. Notice that each follower receives not only the delay response to its delay request message, but also the delay request and delay response for all other ports. So all messages go from all devices to all devices. However, in a large network with, for example, 1,000 followers, then nearly all of the messages received at the follower ports are intended for another node on the network. So what can we do about this? The preferred option, replace your switch with those which also act as PTP boundary clocks. In this case, followers communicate with the nearest boundary clock rather than the whole network. You can use mixed multicast/unicast PTP, also known as mixed SMPTE. This mode is the most efficient with respect to PTP messages. The delay request and delay response are sent as unicast messages, so that the follower ports do not have to drop them. So in mixed multicast, delay request and response are unicast, so routed explicitly. The communication mode, again, is set up on the sync pulse generator with PTP, and it also has to be compliant with your network switches. Default frame rate. Ensure that the default frame rate is correctly set, as a number of devices require this setting to create timecode and to allow correct operation within your production environment. Sync pulse generator has the capability to set the default frame rate to match that of your production. If you'd like to learn more about Leader and PHABRIX products and how they're used in the broadcast industry, then visit our YouTube channel at Leader Test and Measurement. And we also have available a series of audio podcasts that can be downloaded. If you'd like to learn more about PTP, the Leader PHABRIX YouTube channel also features your essential guide to PTP, where we have a playlist with a series of videos that explain from the novice right the way through to the most experienced PTP operators how to configure, fault find, and keep these systems running so that your 2110 networks deliver the benefits that IP can offer our industry.